Wide receivers are an essential part of an NFL football team, and the better your receivers are, the better it helps your quarterback be, the better it helps your passing game. It opens up your offense, and it helps out your tight ends, your running backs. It helps out the running game, because if you have a reliable passing game, then you can be that much more unpredictable. And I mean, looking at the games yesterday, and I mean, really, we didn't even need the games yesterday to realize just how important and valuable good wide receivers are. But just looking last night, there were times when y'all saw T. Higgins. I mean, we knew he was nice. We knew T. Higgins was like that already, but last night just continued to solidify that. And then Jamar Chase, like when Joe Burrow's in a pinch, there's a lot of times in double coverage too, where he will literally put it up and say, hey, I know my guy is going to get it. I know my guy is going to make the play happen over whoever else is around him, because he got some guys that's like that. But anyway, Ravens are still looking for some more guys who are like that and guys who can help take this thing to the next level. Ravens fans have been looking for some guys who are like that, who could help really ascend this Ravens passing game. And it's not just about the wide receivers, it's also about the scheme too. But now maybe the scheme will be changing depending on the route that the Baltimore Ravens take at offensive coordinator, but really first and foremost at their philosophy. So we'll wait and see how that goes. But when it comes to wide receivers, there have been a lot of names that have been thrown out there. Obviously, DeAndre Hopkins is a popular name amongst Ravens fans, especially with the situation with him and the Cardinals. Apparently, they put him out there on the trade block or whatnot, and they are looking to move on from him. Even though I think maybe a couple of days ago, I think the GM, no, not the GM, because the GM got fired. Somebody on there said, I think it might have been a new GM, but somebody said, we might actually try to keep DeAndre Hopkins. So usually with something like that, that's just talk for, hey, we need some good offers. Y'all better come with it. So we'll see what happens with him. I still expect him to be out of there. But there's also been some talk about Mike Evans. I know probably no Ravens fan really think Mike Evans is going to happen, especially with him being younger as well. I mean, I think he's 29, so he ain't hit the Ravens benchmark yet as far as the age. He ain't reached it yet. So he a little too young, but I mean, we'll see how it goes. But I don't think those are realistic options for the Baltimore Ravens. I think those are guys that they should go after, and they could make it happen. You can make the money work, obviously, especially the salary cap getting ready to go up again. By how much, who knows? But if you want something done, you could definitely make it happen. But I just don't think the Ravens are going to go after either one of those guys, simply because with those guys, you have to do some restructuring. You have to do some finagling and whatnot, and I just don't see, unless some stuff changes, but I just don't see the Baltimore Ravens as a team that would do that for that position, because they have showed us that they don't value the wide receiver position like that. So what would all of a sudden change? I know they talked about, hey, we're going to rebuild the wide receiver room. Okay, cool. But what would all of a sudden change to where they would do something like that now? Like if one of those two guys got cut, okay. Then if they were a free agent and you ain't got to do all the reworking and restructuring and all that, then I can see the Ravens possibly going after one of them. But yeah, as far as trading, I don't see it happening. Ravens, hey, you want to prove me wrong? Be my guest. But let's talk about some realistic options for the wide receiver position. And this first question came from Ken Patchy. He said, what's up, Ingraven? Let's get right into this wide receiver talk. Alan Lazard, 6 touchdowns this year and no fumbles. DJ Shark, only 3 touchdowns this year, but has over 16 yards per reception and 0 fumbles. So my guy Ken Patchy, obviously his priority when it comes to receivers, Alan Lazard, DJ Shark, both taller receivers, bigger body receivers. I'm with it. But he talked about not fumbling the ball. So not only as a receiver's job, not only is your job to catch, but it's also to get yak, make plays and whatnot, but hold on to that ball. Because you can make the best catch in the world, you can make the prettiest catch in the world, but if you drop that ball, it negates everything instantly, just like that. But anyway, he said, Those two have a combined value of just under 14 mil, with Shark accounting for 10 mil of that $14 million sum. I think they are both acquirable, and both could really bring out the best in Bateman. Those were my free agent picks. See, I could see that because they are not the best of the best at wide receiver, and those are usually the guys that Ravens go after. They're not bad. Like, those would not be bad pickups. It wouldn't be the best pickups, but it certainly would not be bad. Alan Lazard, I know you're more low-key, been playing with Aaron Rodgers. I was about to say Alan Rodgers. Been playing with Aaron Rodgers for a minute. And this could be one of those things, because you know those situations sometimes when a player's been in a system and on the team for a while and kind of sort of been in the shadow almost. And then they go to a new team and then boom, they just break out and it's like, oh, okay. Oh, he could make some stuff happen. But this is something that I could see the Ravens doing. Alan Lazard, yeah, DJ Shark. I think DJ Shark was on a 1-year deal with the Lions, I think. So I think he'll be a free agent. And Alan Lazard is a free agent. He pretty much already gave his goodbyes to Green Bay. But these would be Ravens moves, especially Lazard. With the contract, he ain't gonna command no crazy amount of money. And Ravens could, and they probably would do like a test run. I don't think they would do no long-term deal with a receiver yet. I think they would do like a test run, maybe like a 1 to 2 year deal. Nothing crazy. So especially since they don't know what's going on with the quarterback yet. And the receivers, any receivers that will be coming to the Ravens, they don't know what's going on with the quarterback yet. So they might be like, hey, y'all not about to trap me. Like, give me a 1 year deal. Give me a 2 year deal with the second year being an option year. Okay, we straight, but you ain't about to trap me. Well, I mean, you pay him enough money, then he'd be like, oh, yeah, you trap me all day. But, Ravens ain't going to fork up no crazy amount of money. So, yeah, these two are realistic options, in my opinion, for the Baltimore Ravens. He said those were his free agent picks. He said as far as trades go, I like Jerry Jeudy and DeAndre Hopkins. I didn't do a lot of research before writing this question, so for all I know, Hopkins could be headed to free agency as well. I don't think he will be. I don't think he's going to be headed to free agency. But anyway, he said, regardless, there are plenty of affordable wide receivers to really help complete this offense. With Jerry Jeudy, I like Jerry Jeudy. He knows how to get open. Sometimes he got the dropsies though. That's my thing. Sometimes he got the dropsies. But I mean, as long as you're making more plays than you missing, then hey. But I think Jerry Jeudy could be available. I wonder what they would ask for. I don't think they would ask for a first round pick. Because Jeudy, I mean, he be making plays here and there, but he don't be going off like that to where they would get a first round pick for him. I don't think. But well, you never know. I mean, Ravens got a first rounder for Hollywood, and he was a first rounder, obviously, back in 2019. But I'm sure people looked at Hollywood like, man, he got 1,000 yards in that offense. What? How is that possible? They were like, okay, so there must be something special about him if he got 1,000 yards in that. What? But anyway, just a Jerry Jeudy, yeah, that is technically an option. So I mean, we'll see. He also said trade that boy trying to get Duve out of here. He said trade Duvernay for some cap space and use Shamar Bridges. Oh man, so we're trading Devin Duvernay. That has been a lot of Ravens fans been saying that. I've been seeing that a lot. Because I know with his him making a Pro Bowl and stuff, that gave him some incentive. So his cap hit, whatever it's gonna be next year, is even higher because of that stuff, which is good for Devin Duvernay. Like, hey, get your money. Well, Devin Duvernay, would they trade him? Punt returner, kick returner, receiver, gadget type player. I don't think so. I don't think they would trade him. You never know, but if I had to put a percentage on it or lean one way or another, I would say they don't trade him. I would say they don't. What I would hope that with Devin Duvernay, because me, I like the more the merrier, especially at the receiver position, and the higher quality, the better. With Devin Duvernay, I would like if whoever our next offensive coordinator is, and really just this falls on Harbaugh too, but I just really wish that they would use him, play him to his strengths. Because Devin Duvernay, is he the best route runner? No. But he runs powerfully. And you could get him the ball in the backfield, get him the ball on some screens, get him some deep passes too, mix it up a little bit. And of course, that's the jet sweep king. Yes, your highness. But just get him involved. Get him involved, because we saw so many times, well, actually, no, not many times, we will see it when Duvernay was involved, great stuff happened. Then he wouldn't be involved the next week. Then the following week, Duvernay's involved, great stuff happens. Then he wouldn't be involved the following week. And the crazy part about that was that it wasn't even the defenses that were taking him out the game. It was the Ravens offense taking Duvernay out the game. So they just, man. Anyway, he said trade dude for some cap space and use Shamar Bridges, Rashad Bateman, and Andy Isabella. Andy Isabella, I don't think Andy Isabella going to be back. I don't. But hey, we'll see. But you trade dude for some cap space and use Shamar Bridges, Rashad Bateman, and Andy Isabella as our foundation for the new wide receiver room. I would like to see Shamar Bridges get a shot. So training camp and all that is going to be huge for him. This offseason, they signed him to a future contract, so he'll be around. But this offseason is going to be huge for him. Now, I do hope that the Ravens, they bring in some guys, some established guys, and I'm sure they will. Who that will be, we'll see. But I would really like to see Shamar Bridges just get after it, man. Just really get after it. I would love to see him just be out there, be involved. But everything is going to start in training camp. Everything is going to start in the offseason. So this is a huge offseason for him. He said, with Gus and JK at full health next year, and assuming Lamar re-signs with Baltimore, if the Ravens make any of the 4 acquisitions I mentioned, hopefully more than one, they will give the AFC nightmares. I appreciate you for taking the time to read this. Ingraven, hope you all have a wonderful week. Appreciate that, Kim Patchy. That was fun.
And you know just what I mean. You too, team, keep it clean. You see my boy, he like gotta made it. Well, that's my homie, ain't that right engraving.
Team Keep It Clean, welcome to another episode of Questions from Subs. And just to get straight into it, next question came from Team Keep It Clean patron, my guy Dominic, who's been a patron for about a month, so appreciate you. He said, hey Ingraven, congrats on another great season covering our Ravens. We appreciate all your hard work. Keep giving the people what they want. Hey, I appreciate that. I don't know if a lot of people want it, but it's okay. But anyway, he said, I got a quick question for you this go round. We all heard the press and Harp saying they need to upgrade our wide receiver room. With the limited picks this draft, do you think they will target a wide receiver with the first pick or stick to their proven best player available motto? I think that the best player available, I don't think that's going on anywhere. Now, I do think that somehow, some way, right now, I hope it's not with Lamar, but somehow, some way, they're going to get more draft picks. There's no way they going into no draft with just no 5 picks. I know Eric DeCosta, I can't see it, man. Not no Eric DeCosta, no. 5 picks? No. He trading some. He gonna get some more picks somehow, some way. But anyway, he said, I think the fan consensus is we need to go wide receiver and cornerback with picks 1 and 2. And as mentioned in the presser, they hear us fans. Oh yeah, you know they do. But do they really? I want to have faith that EDC won't leave us hanging on the edge of our seats waiting for a wide receiver's name to get called or draft again this year. But I just keep hearing the past say the Ravens always go with the best player available in my head. Without a crystal ball, I guess we'll find out in April. Until then, I'll be sitting tightly, clinched. I'll be sitting tightly clinched until I hear a wide receiver name called. What do you think? Wide receiver at 22 overall or best available? Blessings to you and the fam and all the team. Keep it clean. I appreciate that, Neek. I would love it. And I told y'all, my favorite plan for the Ravens would be if they traded for a significant guy. I know we talked about everything earlier, but I would like for them to really step out there. Like if they got like a Mike Evans, that would be my first choice. That would be my first choice, even over DeAndre Hopkins, who I love. Y'all know I love DeAndre Hopkins. But, with Mike Evans, it would be Mike Evans. That would be my preference right there. DeAndre Hopkins would be my second preference, so either one of the two. But if they got, one of them, and then they went and drafted a receiver super early, too. Somebody who's NFL ready, not a project, not a guy who, he's going to know. Somebody who's ready to go right here, right now. You still have Rashad Bateman. You still have Devin Duvernay, too. James Prochet, love him, but the Ravens... He fell out of favor with the Ravens, and I do not think that they're going to keep him around. I just don't. I don't use. You see the way that the way that they don't use him. I think their relationship is done, man. I just really think it's done. So I think James Prochet, I think he could possibly be traded for like maybe a 7th round or something like that, maybe a 6th or 7th round pick, something like that. I just don't think the Ravens, they don't value him, obviously. I mean, they don't value the wide receiver position, period, but they don't value him specifically. I know this year has been rough too. This year didn't help because with the penalty yardage that he racked up, and some of it was just those penalties where it's like, and I know he's frustrated too. Cause I'm sure as a wide receiver, especially a wide receiver that's low on Ravens depth chart, it's gotta be extremely frustrating. So it's like, man, my opportunities are extremely limited. Even if as a starting wide receiver for the Ravens, your opportunities are limited. But if you down on a depth chart, your opportunities are extremely limited. So he had limited opportunities, and then when he did get an opportunity, sometimes he'll make some plays, but a lot of times he wouldn't. Then there would be the penalty plays, and I think that relationship is coming to an end. But yeah, I would like if Ravens, they traded for one of the top guys. They drafted one of the top guys. And Rashad Bateman, Devin Duvernay, and then whether they drafted another one or they signed somebody. Like I want them to go crazy with it, man. I really do. I want them to go almost overkill at wide receiver, but for Ravens it really wouldn't be overkill because it's a necessity. I would love for them to really go hard with this thing, man. So we'll see how it goes, but yeah, we just gotta wait and see now. This question came from my guy Lord Velia, who's been a patron for about a month, so appreciate you. He said, all in on Leftwich. Okay, well, he didn't get hired yet. He said, reason I'm strong on Leftwich is other than him being black and being an ex-quarterback, looking at the Bucs offense last season. Goodwin had 104 receptions on 142 targets, 1,035 yards. 531 was Yak. He had 3 touchdowns, but he had 10 20-plus yard plays and 1 40-plus yard play. Now, let me tell y'all, with my guy Lord Valley, he be doing his research like crazy. Like, his questions are always super in-depth, detailed with the numbers. So my guy is heavy on the analytics, heavy on the statistics, so let's keep going. Mike Evans had 77 receptions, 127 targets, 1,124 yards, 6 touchdowns, 216 yak yards, 20-plus yards 19 times, and 5 40-plus yard plays. Wow. Fournette had 73 receptions on 83 targets. Oh, wow, that's pretty good. He is a running back, though, so he's usually pretty open. But anyway, 523 yards, 563 yak. Nah, hold up now. Something's off there. Anyway, 3 touchdowns, 3 20-plus yards plays, 1 40-plus yard play, and that's still with him rushing 189 times for 668 yards. 3 touchdowns, and he missed 2 games and started 9. So he, what I'm seeing you're getting at is the passing game, obviously involving the receivers, really featuring the receivers heavy, but also featuring the running backs too, because that's an element that, like, we saw, was it in the playoff game? I think it was in the playoff game where JK was getting catches. I was like, whoa, I think he had like 4 catches, and it wasn't much, but I felt like that was the most catches he ever had in the game, like ever. But he looked good catching the ball. And I was like, oh, whoa, okay, where has this been? But anyway, he said, ain't no way JK got 8 targets, 7 receptions, and we think we are going to win big. I want to see more 12 to 14-point wins next year, but you got to feed your playmakers. Boom. You could have ended it right there. You could have started and ended it right there. I want to see more 12 to 14-point wins next year, but you got to feed your playmakers. That's it. He said, we need a pass-happy running back coach. 5 teams in this year's playoffs have backs with over 50 receptions. Reason that is important because that's about 20 to 30 avoided sacks on the quarterback. And now you have a mismatch with linebackers or safeties coming down, leaving single, high, or zero coverage. They can't just sit in the box and spy. And you can have a lot of packages with Gus and JK on the field at the same time. JK playing slot and likely playing fullback, motion back, like the 49ers running motions and not knowing if it's a pass or a run. Defenses have to really play sound. That's true, because you could get a defense, the same look, same personnel, but you could be doing something totally opposite. He said Leftwich system would be a great fit. His passing offense is basically a run game. Nickel and dime you in 20-yard chunk and couple of runs, drive and eat clock, but everyone eats, even little Scotty in their tight end. So you're talking about Scotty Miller. Also, this is a great first for the simple fact it's new for our division. They have been used to the close, gritty games for the past 3 seasons. and this system could shade 2019 season scoring, but with a more versatile offense. Whoa, he said ratings and prime time, baby. So my guy, he thinking of the business side too. I like that. Lastly, the only way I see Lamar signing is really going to sound crazy, but as a Godfather scene, one light over table, you have Hobbs, EDC, Big Shotty, but there's Leftwich, Lamar, and Hopkins, or even a Lazard or Shark, and they all confirm at the same time. But the OC signs first, so Lamar feels relieved. Wide receiver signs next because they know it's a passing system, and then Lamar says, you know what? That 240 I wanted, I'm going to cut you a break, but 200 at least guaranteed, fellas. So he signs and says, now, get the fans ready for Vegas in 2024. That's my time, bro. I love it.
Yeah, this feels like a dream.